you need a dinner that takes less than 10 minutes to prep and delivers uniquely delicious flavors that the entire family will love, it's BBQ Meatloaf for the win. It's savory, it's smoky, and it comes equipped with a sticky sweet barbecue sauce on top that just balances out those flavors perfectly. We're gonna start with the breadcrumbs and the spices. It's the spices that make this meatloaf so flavorful, yet so easy to make. Add a half cup of plain dried breadcrumbs, 2 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1.5 teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 3/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half teaspoon of onion powder to a large bowl. Just grab yourself a fork, mix that all together, and now you're gonna bring in a half cup of milk, 1 large egg that's been beaten, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and 1.5 teaspoon of liquid smoke. So we've got a ton of barbecue style flavors packed in there, thanks to the chili powder, the cumin, the Worcestershire sauce, and the liquid smoke. The breadcrumbs and the milk are what's going to keep that meatloaf nice and tender as it bakes in the oven, and the egg, that's your binder. My kids and my husband love this meatloaf. If you're looking for more family-friendly recipes, be sure you check out our playlist. I'm gonna link to it at the end of this video. Now you're gonna add 2 pounds of either lean ground beef or 80/20 ground beef to the mixing bowl, along with 1 onion that has been finely chopped. We're actually talking minced. You wanna make sure that that onion is chopped super small so that it has time to sort of like melt into that beef as it cooks. You don't want crunchy onion in your meatloaf. It's not there for texture, it's only there for flavor. Okay, so that's everybody in the bowl. Now you're gonna get in there with your hands, go ahead and remove jewelry as necessary and start mixing it up. As soon as you see that breadcrumb mixture is evenly mixed throughout all of the beef, you're gonna transfer it to a rimmed baking sheet. I like to line it with nonstick aluminum foil for easy removal and easy cleanup. Now we're gonna shape our meatloaf, and you're gonna shape your meatloaf a little more narrow and a little bit taller than you might think. This is because as that meatloaf cooks, it's actually gonna flatten and spread out. So if we start high and narrow, your meatloaf is going to end up baking in the perfect meatloaf shape. Now for the next part, you're gonna need about 2/3 cup of barbecue sauce. You want a thick and preferably a sticky sweet barbecue sauce. Spoon about half of the sauce over your meatloaf and gently spread it across the top. Transfer it to a preheated 350 Fahrenheit oven, and you're gonna bake for 35 minutes. So this barbecue meatloaf is insanely delicious, and I highly recommend for a little something different to change up your dinner time routine. But if you're looking for a traditional meatloaf recipe, we have that ready and waiting for you on this channel too. Be sure you check it out. As soon as that time is up, you're gonna pull the meatloaf, you're gonna add the rest of the sauce on top. Adding the sauce in 2 separate additions is what gives us a thick, delicious topping of sauce rather than sauce that just kind of runs down the sides of the meatloaf and disappears into the pan. So you're gonna return it to the oven and bake for an additional 25 minutes. And as soon as the internal temperature of your meatloaf registers 165 Fahrenheit, you can remove it from the oven and you're gonna let it cool for about 15 minutes. I like to add a little color to my meatloaf before serving by sprinkling with a little bit of chopped parsley or a lot of bit of chopped parsley. And then you can slice it up and serve it with mashed potatoes, peas, or whatever your heart desires.